Here again, this is Dr. Ikele at her kitchen. I'm trying to make soup. This is actually traditional Igbo soup called okazi, and some people don't really know how they can cook this without any meat or chicken or fish, but I'm here to demonstrate that you can cook it and it can be very tasty using our real local traditional ingredients, and from any culture, anything you want to use to swallow something, you can cook it even with this or adapt from whatever is in your country. Here we have dawa dawa locust bean, and here is a washed one. I have just washed it, had soaked it. And this is tofu, cubed, seasoned and baked. There is also another dawa dawa ground locust bean, and here is seaweeds. Seaweed is very, very healthy. This is ground. It has a lot of iron, it has vitamins and minerals, and it can be good for thyroid function. It's also good for joint pain. If it is the food of fish. So if it is the food of fish, we can eat it direct instead of secondhand. So these are dried but ground. We have palm oil here. We have salt. I use the pure Himalayan salt, and I have okazi here, cut red pepper, and this is tomato paste puree that I made with steaming tomatoes and garlic and onions with a pinch of salt. Steam them until they're soft and then blended and pureed very nicely. And so all these, and then of course here is this is the egusi that I ground. So I'm going to use all these things to make this soup. Right now, first of all, I start with putting the egusi on the fire and just making sure that it's cooked a little bit. And if you don't have egusi, you can use ordinary pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds, they will do the same job. Pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds, they will do the same job. These are all locally available, especially here in the Western world. You can find these. And at home, you use whatever you have. And then I can put some oil in this. Not much. I just kind of eyeball it. And I know you have access to maybe better fresh palm oil if you are in West Africa. Okay, so I will allow this to cook. Allow it to cook for some time, making sure that it doesn't burn. And you know, cooking this, we usually hardly, those who are seasoned cooks, hardly use a recipe. They just eyeball these things and it comes out good. So I will cook this egusi, to which I added a little locust bean. I will add a few more whole ones because I personally like to have it eat some of the lumps in it. So I let it now it's beginning to boil. Let it boil for some time. Then I will add this onion to it and let it boil. I think I should have probably steamed the onion and let it cook very well with the egusi. Egusi is also another type of our own local pumpkin seeds. Let it steam very well. It's beginning to boil. Just to entrap a lot more heat, that's why I had it covered. And while it is steaming, I'm going to rinse off the blender so that I can add some of that water into it. boiling very well. So I'm going to let it really simmer. Making sure that you scoop the ones on the sides of the pot. I let it cook a little more so that the onion can cook well.
Three, two, one, go.
Okay. Here is the dry seaweed. This is dry seaweed. I just bought two types. There are different types. These are, once you put it in water, it becomes green. And you crumble it. This is another type. Okay, so this is seaweed. Now I'm going to put the, and this is the dry one. I'm going to put like 1 spoon of it, just to give it that fishy, okay, that fishy taste. I'm going to put like half a teaspoon of this dawa dawa. I already put that. Now I'm going to add the tomato paste so that they will all cook together. Could also add the tomato paste first, depending on how you want it. And it's always good to have hot water already somewhere in the fire so that you don't keep reducing the temperature of the food and letting it start all over, just like I'm doing now. So you rinse off, and then the amount of water you put depends on the quantity of ingredients you have and how thick you want the soup to be. You see now it's quite thick, but I'll still put a thickener like or4. This is or4, that's what I have. You could have oatmeal, you could have achi. For my culture, these are our thickening agents when we make soup that has egusi in it. And so I put a little, this kind of is an emulsifier. It's also a legume and it's very rich. And you don't need much of it, just a little of it will be enough in the soup because it really thickens. So you put it there, and then I can add more water depending on how. See now, it has almost everything that it needs. Now I'll add some tofu chunks. You could make the tofu smaller. You could cut them smaller. I'll just use half this quantity of tofu. This is okay. Yes. So I would add a little more water because by the time I put the vegetable, I'll add hot water. It will become thicker. I don't want it to be so super thick. I want it to have. Okay, so all right. So, and I can also put a little diced red sweet pepper for the purpose of sweetening and also for color. So by the time the soup is finished, you see the green color, you see the red color, you see the yellow color. And it's good to eat for color because it makes the food more appetizing and inviting. So I'll cover it now for some time and let it all blend together. And then the next thing I will do will be to put the okazi. It's already washed, it's already cut. It's cut in tiny bits. And then I would add green spinach, which I already have pre-cut. So I'll add it last, just as the soup is about to hit the fire, and I'll put some salt. That's when I'll add. So you will see the finished product in a very short time. Thank you. Now the green, the spinach is there, so it has changed the color. Okazi and the spinach. So it's actually a thick soup. It's actually rich with a lot of egusi, the iron that comes with it. So this is it. Just give it a few more minutes so that all the... You could make it lighter, but I chose to make it thicker because some people like thick soup. So some cultures, they like very light soup, like where I come from. Most of the time we eat very light soup, but this is thick for anybody. Those who like it light, those who like it thick, anybody can benefit from this, okay? So the soup is cooked. I'm now going to put it on the plate, and there is salt in it. It's ready to go. And you eat it with gari, or we call it eba, or pounded yam, or fufu. And those who eat other corn mixtures, you can use it, whatever you use that you swallow, this will very well go with it. And you can see everything here is vegetable. There is no meat, no fish, no chicken. We get our fish from the seaweed. Okay, so here is the soup. Put on the fire, it's cooked, and it is. Nice color with the tomatoes, it gives it a very good color. And when cool, you store in the fridge and eat it anytime. For me, I eat soup in the mornings. That's the heaviest food I eat in the mornings. Anytime I choose to eat soup. Right?